Hello students, today we are going to discuss human reproduction part 3. Today's concept from human reproduction is gametogenesis. The gametogenesis is defined as the process by which male and female gametes are formed respectively in the male and female gonads is called gametogenesis. Gametes are differed from all other cells of the body as their nuclei contain only half the number of chromosomes found in the nuclei of somatic cells. So the somatic cells are also called as vegetative cells. All the vegetative cells or somatic cells in the body are in diploid condition, that is 2n, whereas gametes consists only of the number of chromosomes, that is 1n. Meiosis forms the most significant part of process of gametogenesis. So gametogenesis, formation of gametes, requires meiosis division. Gametogenesis for the formation of sperms is termed as spermatogenesis. The gametogenesis for the formation of ova is called oogenesis. So let's discuss spermatogenesis, which occurred in male reproductive system. The definition of a spermatogenesis is the process of formation of sperms is called spermatogenesis. The spermatogenesis begins at puberty, that means after sexual maturity. Spermatogenesis occurs in the seminiferous tubules of the testes. Each seminiferous tubules contains two types of cells. They are germinal epithelial cells, Sertoli cells. Now let's see the diagram. So the entire diagram, it is the seminiferous tubules present in a testicular lobules. Now these elongated cells are called as Sertoli cells, and internally the seminiferous tubule is lined with cells. These cells are called as germinal epithelial cells. These are the two types of cells. One is a Sertoli cell and another cells are the germinal epithelial cells or lined internally in seminiferous tubules. Germinal epithelial cells. The germinal epithelial cells, also called primary germ cells, which are line the tubules internally. Germinal epithelial cells are diploid in nature and undergo a number of stages to give rise to haploid spermatids, Sertoli cells. The Sertoli cells are large, elongated supporting cells present in between the developing cells. Sertoli cells protect into the lumen and provide nourishment to the developing sperms, Once observe the diagram. This is the seminiferous tubule. The elongated cells inside the seminiferous tubules are called as Sertoli cells. These Sertoli cells are present between the developing cells. These are the developing cells. So between these developing cells, the Sertoli cells are present. And the inner wall of the seminiferous tubule is lined with germinal epithelial cells. These cells are called as germinal epithelial cells. These germinal epithelial cells undergo several changes and they produce the spermatids. The important stages of spermatogenesis. The stages are multiplication phase, growth phase, maturation phase or meiotic phase, and spermiogenesis are the important stages during spermatogenesis. Let's discuss each stage in spermatogenesis. First stage, multiplication phase. During this multiplication phase, spermatogonia formed from primary germ cells or germinal epithelial cells. Spermatogonia divides to form two different type of spermatogonia. They are type A spermatogonia, type B spermatogonia. Type A spermatogonia. Type A spermatogonia cells continue as stem cells. Type A spermatogonia serves as stem cells for spermatogenic lineage or spermatogenic cycle. Type B spermatogonia. These are differentiated spermatogonia cells or progenitor cells. They undergo spermatogenesis and differentiate to form sperm cells. Let's observe the diagram. So spermatogonium, which is formed from the germinal epithelial cells. This spermatogonium undergo mitotic division to form two types of cells. Type A spermatogonium, type B spermatogonium. This type A spermatogonium is continue as stem cells. That means it is a reserve for a continuation of a spermatogenic lineage or maybe spermatogenic cycle. It is reserved for future. And type B spermatogonia or the progenitor cells which undergo spermatogenesis and differentiate to form sperms or spermatozoa. The second stage in spermatogenesis is growth phase. Growth phase is a preparatory phase for initiation of meiosis. Some spermatogonia increase in size by accumulating nourishing material from the germinal cells and become primary spermatocytes. A primary spermatocyte is large and diploid, contains 46 chromosomes. Let's observe this diagram. Already we discussed this part. Spermatogonium undergo mitosis to form two types of cells, type A spermatogonia and type B spermatogonia. This type B spermatogonia undergo spermatogenesis. So now during this spermatogenesis, this type B spermatogonia increase its size by accumulating nourishing material, nutrient material, which is collected from the germinal cells, and that increased large spermatogonial cells become primary spermatocyte, and this primary spermatocyte is diploid and it consists 46 chromosomes. The third stage in spermatogenesis is meiotic phase or maturation phase. During this phase, each primary spermatocyte undergoes the first meiotic division to give rise to two haploid secondary spermatocytes. The secondary spermatocytes undergo second meiotic division to produce four haploid spermatids. Let's observe the diagram. So primary spermatocyte, it is formed from the type B spermatogonia. Now up to this primary spermatocyte, the cells are in diploid condition, 2n condition. Now this primary spermatocyte undergo first meiosis division. So this first meiosis division is also called reductional division. Why it is called reductional division? During this meiosis 1, the number of chromosomes become half. So that's why it is called as reductional division. So when the primary spermatocyte undergo reductional division, that is meiosis 1 division, it forms two secondary spermatocyte cells. Two cells of secondary spermatocytes are formed. These two secondary spermatocytes, which are formed from primary spermatocytes due to reductional division. That means the diploid 2n chromosomes become 1n haploid. So the primary spermatocytes undergo meiosis 1 division to form two haploid secondary spermatocytes. These two secondary spermatocytes undergo meiotic 2 division. It is equivalent to the mitosis or equational division. So when these secondary spermatocytes undergo meiosis 2 division or equational division, each secondary spermatocyte forms two spermatids. So then the two secondary spermatocytes produce total four spermatids. These four spermatids are also in haploid condition. Now Secondary spermatocytes undergo meiosis II division to form four spermatids. They are also haploid. Each spermatid has 23 chromosomes, that is haploid in nature. The spermatids are unspecialized cells and do not undergo any further division. So the meiosis division is completed after formation of spermatids. Once the spermatids are formed, there is no further division takes place during spermatogenesis. The spermatids gets embedded in the serotoli cells. The spermatids gets support, protection and nutrition from serotoli cells. Now let's see the diagram here. So now between the developing cells, the serotoli cell is present, and these spermatids are embedded, means it is mixed with serotoli cells, and they get protection and nutrition from the serotoli cells. So in this diagram also we can see clearly this is the serotoli cell, and it is also a serotoli cells, and these spermatids are unspecialized cells which are embedded into the serotoli cells to get protection, support and nutrition from the serotoli cells. The fourth stage of spermatogenesis is spermiogenesis. What is meant by spermiogenesis? The transformation of an unspecialized spermatid into spermatozoa is called spermiogenesis. Already we knew that secondary spermatocyte undergo second meiosis division to form four haploid spermatids. The transformation of these unspecialized spermatids into spermatozoa is called spermiogenesis. Till transformation, these spermatids are embedded into serotoli cells to get protection, support and nutrition. The spermatids gets transformed into a sperm by condensation of the nucleus into a head. So during this transformation, the nucleus is condensed to form as a head, and during this transformation, a flagellated tail is formed in the spermatids. During development, the flagellated tail of the sperm projects into the lumen while the head is embedded in the serotoli cells. So during transformation of unspecialized spermatids into sperms, that is spermiogenesis, the complete formation of this flagellated tail and head after formation of these structures are also the sperm is embedded with a serotoli cells, and head is embedded into serotoli cells, and tail is flow towards the lumen, center of the seminiferous tubule. The mature spermatozoa finally gets detached from the Sertoli cell and is released in the lumen of seminiferous tubule by the process called spermiation. So what is meant by spermiation? The release of sperms from the lumen of seminiferous tubules is called spermiation. So spermiogenesis, transformation of spermatids into sperms, spermiation, release of the sperms from the lumen of seminiferous tubule is called spermiation. From one diploid primary spermatocyte, four haploid sperms are formed. So based on this statement, you may get some mathematical questions. So that is for suppose the number of sperms, there are 600 number of spermatozoa are produced. Then how many primary spermatocytes are involved in the production of 600 haploid spermatozoa? That is one. Or how many secondary spermatocytes are involved to form 600 haploid spermatozoa? So one primary spermatocyte produces 4 haploid sperms. So here I asked 600 sperms required 150 primary spermatocytes to produce 600 sperms. Then how many secondary spermatocytes are required to produce 600 sperms? Each secondary spermatocyte produce 2 spermatids. These 2 spermatids are transformed into sperms. That means one secondary spermatocyte produce 2 sperms. So here 600 sperms. Then the required secondary spermatocytes are 300. The temperature is a very crucial factor for the development of the sperms. So that's why the testes are present in the scrotum. The significance of scrotum already we know. The scrotum maintain the low temperature when compared to the body temperature. 2 to 2 to 3 degree centigrade temperature is low in the scrotal sacs. That low temperature facilitates the spermatogenesis. An adult male produce about 10 to the power of 12 to 10 to the power of 13 sperm cells per day. The sperms gradually move into the epididymis where sperms get concentrated, undergo maturation and are stored. Hence, the epididymis is considered as primary storehouse of the sperms. Here it is the complete representation of spermatogenesis. So formation of spermatozoa is called as spermatogenesis. During this process, type B spermatogonium undergo spermatogenesis, and this type B spermatogonium increases its size by accumulation of nutrients gets from germinal cells, and it converts into primary spermatocyte. This primary spermatocyte is large and diploid in condition, and it consists 46 chromosomes. Primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis I division to form two haploid secondary spermatocytes. They consist 23 chromosomes. These secondary spermatocytes undergo meiosis II division to form two spermatids from each secondary spermatocytes. So the total number of spermatids formed from two secondary spermatocytes are 4 haploid spermatids. The spermatids are also consist 23 chromosomes. These spermatids are embedded into the Sertoli cells to get support, protection, and nutrition. These unspecialized spermatids transformed into spermatozoa. This process is called spermiogenesis. After transformation, the sperms are released from lumen of seminiferous tubule. That process is called as spermiation. The hormonal control of spermatogenesis. The spermatogenesis starts at the age of puberty, that is after sexual maturity, that is between 13 to 16 years in males. The gonadotropin releasing hormone GnRH is a hypothalamic hormone. It stimulates anterior pituitary gland to produce two gonadotropin hormones. I am repeating again this statement. The gonadotropin releasing hormone is a hypothalamic hormone. Hypothalamus is a part of brain. It also produces hormones, neurohormones. And these neurohormones are two types. They are releasing hormones as well as inhibiting hormones. So here gonadotropin releasing hormone, it produced and released by hypothalamic hormone, and this gonadotropin releasing hormone stimulates anterior pituitary gland to produce two gonadotropin hormones. The two gonadotropin hormones are luteinizing hormone. It is also called as interstitial cells stimulating hormone ICSH, and another one is follicle stimulating hormone. LH or interstitial cell stimulating hormone stimulates the Leydig cells These Leydig cells are present in the interstitial spaces between the seminiferous tubules. These Leydig cells secretes the androgen like testosterone that is essential for the spermatogenesis. Follicle stimulating hormone stimulates the Sertoli cells to facilitate sperm development or spermiogenesis, that is to facilitate the transformation of spermatids into spermatozoa. Follicle stimulating hormone FSH also stimulates Sertoli cells to produce a peptide hormone called inhibin that specifically inhibits FSH secretion. Increasing level of testosterone suppress the level of gonadotropin releasing hormone from hypothalamus. So let's see the flow chart here. Hypothalamus, part of the brain. This hypothalamus produces GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. That gonadotropin releasing hormone stimulates anterior pituitary gland to release LH, luteinizing hormone, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. This luteinizing hormone acts on interstitial cells. Hence, this LH is also called as interstitial stimulating hormone. So now this LH acts on that interstitial cells called as Leydig cells, which secretes the androgen like testosterone. This testosterone is essential for spermatogenesis and also essential for other organs, particularly reproductive tract. When these testosterone levels are increases or it's become high level, then it suppresses the gonadotropin releasing hormone. That means it inhibits the GnRH. When GnRH is inhibited, then the stimulation on anterior pituitary gland is also inhibited and the secretions of the LH as well as FSH is also decreases. Under the control of follicle stimulating hormone and testosterone, Sertoli cell secretes an androgen binding protein ABP that concentrates testosterone in the seminiferous tubules. Both testosterone and inhibin, which is secreted by Sertoli cells, exert negative feedback inhibition on the secretion of LH and FSH. Negative feedback. That means already we discussed just now that testosterone level is increases and it causes negative effect on the gonadotropin releasing hormone. Increasing level of testosterone inhibits the gonadotropin releasing hormone. As a result, pituitary gland is not stimulated. Similarly, when Sertoli cells produce more inhibin. It inhibits the FSH. So that effect we will consider as a negative feedback. The structure of a human spermatozoa. The human spermatozoa is an elongated, flagellated, and motile cell. Spermatozoa is composed of following regions. They are head, neck, middle piece, and tail piece. Head of spermatozoa. Head is a slightly oval in shape. This region is called as head. It is slightly oval in shape. Head contains a large haploid nucleus, and this haploid nucleus consists condensed DNA, highly condensed DNA over anterior side of, this is the anterior, and posterior side of this head consists neck, middle piece and tail piece, and over anterior side of nucleus a cap-like structure, it is called as acrosome. This acrosome is a modified Golgi bodies. This acrosome contains hydrolytic enzymes including hyaluronidase and acrosin. These enzymes helpful to break the outer membrane of ovum during fertilization. The next part is neck. It has a pair of centrioles present in the neck region. They are one proximal centriole, which is close to nucleus, distal centriole, which is away from the nucleus. You already know that centriole is an organelle helpful for cell division. So during cell division, the centrioles are formed as the fibrous threads to pull the chromosomes. The microtubules of the distal centriole elongated to form axial filament, which later becomes the part of middle piece and tail. So centrioles consists microtubules. The microtubules of distal centriole is elongated and form as a axial filament in the middle piece as well as in the tail piece. The third part is middle piece. The middle piece contains mitochondria in a spiral form and microtubules of the centriole. So this region is the middle piece, and this middle piece consists the spiral form mitochondria and microtubules of this distal centriole. The spiral arranged mitochondria are termed as Nibenken. Posterior half of nucleus, neck, middle piece, covered by a sheet called as a manchette. The fourth part of spermatozoa is tailpiece or flagellum. It consists of a specific arrangement of microtubules, which is typical of cilia and flagella. So the arrangement of microtubules like in cilia and in flagella, such type of arrangement we can observe in the tailpiece. The tailpiece gives a motility to the sperm in the female reproductive tract. The functions of various parts of a sperm. Head, it consists nucleus and acrosome. The nucleus, it is haploid and it contains a condensed DNA. It is a genetic material. And another part, acrosome, it forms as a cap-like structure over the nucleus, and it is a modified Golgi complex, and this acrosome contains acrosin and hyaluronidase enzymes which are helpful for sperm to penetrate into ovum. And next part is neck. The neck consists of proximal centriole and distal centriole. Already we have studied this. Distal centriole forms the axial filament that forms the tail piece of the sperm, and the proximal centriole, it play important role during first cleavage division of the zygote. The next part, middle piece, it consists spiral mitochondria. The spirally arranged mitochondria are called as the Nebenken, and this mitochondria supplies the energy for movement of the sperm. And last part of spermatozoa, tailpiece, and this tailpiece is a modified flagellum, and it helps the sperm to swim in liquid medium and in female reproductive tract. Students, till now we are completed spermatogenesis and structure of human sperm under third part of human reproduction. So I will give you some question under assignment 3 and try to find the answers without fail. Let's see the questions given under assignment 3. Question number 1. What is meant by gametogenesis? Second question. What is the significance of Sertoli cells? Question number 3. Define spermiogenesis. Question number 4. Name the two gonadotrophins produced by pituitary gland. Question number 5. What is meant by spermiation? Question number 6. Name the hormone secreted by Sertoli cells. Question number 7. Name the enzymes present in acrosome. Question number 8. What is the significance of acrosome? Question number 9. What is Nebenken? And question number 10. Name the cells which secrete testosterone in male reproductive system. Students, till now under this assignment 1, 2 and 3. Under these 3 assignments we covered total 40 questions. So I am expecting you are all doing well. Thank you, students. We will discuss some more concepts under part 4.